What's going on? My name's Liam Morgan. I'm a downhill skateboarder. I have been for over 10 years. I now own and run three skateboard brands: Caliber Trek Co., which makes trucks; Prism Skate Co., which makes the decks, the boards; and Blood Orange, which makes wheels. No, very, very far from it. And farther from it at this point in the state of the industry than ever before. That's a good question. Yeah, I think I started really skating downhills. I've kind of been around skateboards, I guess, my entire life, but really focusing on skateboarding downhills in 2006 or 7. 2008, I started traveling on my own dime. And then I believe by 2010, I had gotten my first sponsor and they were helping financially with things. And then 2013 is the year that I graduated high school. And by 2013, I was fortunate enough, and the community industry market was in a good enough place that I was making enough money, enough to support myself from downhill skateboarding. So I told my parents, hey, I'm about to turn 18. I'm about to graduate high school. I don't want to go to university, and I'm making enough money to support myself. So I'm not going to be bugging you guys to pay my bills. I'm going to continue to skateboard. And generally, they were very supportive of this. They had supported me, thus far, allowing me to travel around the world, going to different events, allowing me to risk my life and limb to bomb down hills at high rates of speed. So the one caveat that they had was, hey, that's okay for you to go and do that. You're making, good money yourself. That's cool, but you need to do something where you learn. So you can't just go fuck around with your friends and ride skateboards and drink beer all day. You need to do something educational. So thanks to a sponsor that I had at the time, I was able to set up an internship at the company that I was riding for. So immediately after high school, I continued to skateboard professionally, but was also an intern, sort of learning the back end of skateboarding business. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the Prism theory on Caliber 44-degree trucks. I switch between wheels. I really like the Blood Orange Drift series. They're just kind of the most premium, high quality wheel that I felt. But I also really like the Blood Orange Bangers. I like my own Blood Orange Pro models, the Morgans. If the temperature is hotter and I want a wheel that's slowing me down more, I'll go with the Morgans. Ridden a lot of boards, and the theory is the result of 10 plus years of downhill skateboarding. To me, it's like the final board. In terms of the most progression that I've ever experienced on a downhill skateboard, it probably would have been a Land Yachts Evo or a Rain Nemesis. And I mean, this is a long time ago, but those two boards, along with perhaps the Comet FSM Flying Spaghetti Monster, is those three boards I progressed the farthest in my downhill skateboarding career in terms of the kind of speed, slides, and just kind of technical ability that I had. Those boards really were key in helping me get better at skating. That's hard. It's going to be a gummy of some sort, like a Haribo. Are those made in Germany? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I like Haribo a lot. There's a Canadian there's a Canadian candy that's made by a company called Maynard's, and they are called wine gums. They're like a gummy with a kind of weird alcoholic taste to them, sort of. And I'm Canadian, so I feel some heritage there. Yeah. I know most people that I give them to are like, these are fucking gross, but yeah, I like them. I sort of have two answers for that. I guess the first longboard that I rode would have been my father's, and that was just like a old, mid 2000s Sector 9, really big double kick with independent trucks on it and some, like clear Sector 9 wheels. And I did a lot of skateboarding on that, and I sort of began to bomb hills on that board. The first downhill board that I ever received was a gift from a family friend of mine named Hugh, and it was a Rain Demon Seed. And then the first board that I ever purchased specifically for downhill was a Rain Hellcat. Well, I guess that depends. The trucks is the easy answer. I mean, Caliber, out of the three brands that I own and run, Caliber is just the biggest. It's always sold the most amount of shit. I think it has the largest, most recognizable name. There's not a ton of competition in the space. Like I said, Paris is, and Bear's definitely up there, but we don't have as much competition in that area. Whereas decks and wheels, there's a lot of other companies that make stuff like we do. I mean, how little money is in it? Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I interact with people, daily, messages to the company or emails, talking to customers, and they just sort of assume, and I don't blame them, but they assume that we're this kind of large entity with, a huge warehouse, maybe a team of people behind us, but that's just not the case. It's just me. Like, I have to wear so many different hats, and most of the time I feel bad. People hit me up with great ideas or requests, oh, you should make this product, or you should come visit this area and film a skate video. And it's like, these are all things that I would love to do, but we don't have any money. Yeah, I think there's a misconception about the size of my brands sometimes. And even at their best, when we were having our best sales years, we were still a very small company with limited resources. When I was young, probably 14 or 15 years old, I went up to these big mountain passes that we have about 5 or 6 hours from me. I was like, hey, I want to go really fast. And we didn't have like cell phone, Strava things back then. So I had a GPS little reader that I tied to my shoelace so that I could look down at my shoelace while tucking, going down this very fast and exposed road that was kind of rock and boulders on one side, fucking cliff with no guardrail on the other. I was wearing a big aerodynamic helmet, thankfully wearing leathers. I'm tucking, I look down, I watch the speed climb up, and I think, like, as soon as it hit 65 miles an hour, I just wob, 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 and smash the ground, wobble out, and was kind of thinking like, okay, if I happen to slide to the left, I'm going to hit all these boulders. Conversely, if I slide to the right, I'm going to go off this fucking cliff. And somehow managed to just like stay pretty straight on the road. Board went flying off the cliff. But yeah, I was fine. But that was scary. But way more scary moments every single day riding a motorcycle, and I've injured myself far more riding motorcycles than I ever have skateboarding. Yeah, I think it's understanding how to walk this fine line. We sort of talked about it earlier with social media, I guess, but it applies to products too. And that's walking this fine line between making something that's true to yourself as a skateboarder, but also you're running a business, so you have to make something that people are going to want to buy. And yeah, I think understanding how you achieve both, or at least make compromises on both that still end up in a good product. So, and I've gotten it wrong a lot of times. I've made stuff where I'm like, hey, this is what I really like, and this is what I think people are gonna really want to skate, and it fucking flops. And I've had other products that I didn't put any thought into, didn't, it was kind of didn't spend that much time on, was like, hey, we'll do this because it's easy, and it's been a success. But I think the products that I feel best about and that have done the best for us are the ones that walk that line nicely. I think, the theory is a great example. Like I said, to me, that's the culmination of over 10 years of downhill skateboarding. I love that board, and the amount of love that I have that board, I think is appreciated by other people. I think I knew this question was coming, and the easiest answer, and also a funny one, is that anytime that we've done green cast trucks, they flop. I think over the history of Caliber, I don't know why, but we've done. I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of 3 different, colorways of green cast trucks, and they sell terribly, and we end up sitting with cases and cases and cases, hundreds of these fucking cursed green trucks. And we've done all sorts of different colors, shades of green, like a dark, military green, a really bright green, fucking, more subdued, darker. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They don't do well. Sort of similar, but opposite to the green. I mean, in the history of Caliber, the best-selling truck that we've ever had was called the Acid Melon, and it was a fucking neon pink, the most disgusting color of pink hanger that you could think of, with a neon green, I guess neon green base plate, and it was called the Acid Watermelon. It came out a long time ago, 10 years ago or something, but that truck sold leaps and bounds more than any other truck that we've ever made. And I think it was almost a joke when we came out with it, like, oh, this color is so visually abrasive that no one is going to want to buy it, and it crushed it. That's that's hard to answer. I'm going to keep trying to do this, right? But it's becoming harder and harder every single day to keep this a full-time position for myself. But we're going to keep doing what we do, which is make products that we like and that we think other people will like, and make them at a price that's inviting to everyone, right? We want to continue to make stuff that invites more people to this. We're a tiny company. If you like our stuff, we appreciate every sale that's made to us. It means the world to a small brand like us. We want to continue making cool products for people to enjoy. So every sale that happens helps us do that. Also, if you have people in your area that are interested in skateboarding, help them out, get them into it. We need more people skateboarding.